to me, self-righteous. I want the world to be the way that I envision it. And that means that the world is full of conflicts, and so am I. I'm in conflict with everything out there that pisses me off, that upsets me, that's not just, that's not right.
A speedy trial in front of a jury of peers. It's one of our constitutional rights. But there are those who think the Sixth Amendment ought to be amended to include trial by mainframe.
When jurors found O.J. Simpson not guilty, more than a difference of opinion separated them from New York computer scientist Joseph Benuso.
We found O.J. guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. He was guilty of murder.
As designed, the Solomon Project at the New York University Law School is supposed to take the jury out of jurisprudence, casting all trials to the impartiality of artificial intelligence. Testimony, evidence, and precedents were entered into the computer, and a complicated formula using fuzzy logic helped render a verdict.
A jury is a manipulated group of puppets.
As a prankster, I'm always at my guard up in general, especially when I hear Joey's name.
You run a brothel for dogs. A brothel for dogs.
How would you feel if you had covered Joey Skaggs' cat house for dogs?
Would you welcome the inventor of the fish tank condo, Joey Skaggs?
Joey Skaggs, he's fooled every major American network with his elaborate hoaxes.
Print this guy, Mike. I want to make sure we never see him again under any other name.
How do we even know that you are Joey Skaggs? How do we even know what you're saying about these media outlets is true?
Any journalist who falls for a Joey Skaggs prank it's their own fault.
He thinks that cockroaches are very important to all of us.
A cockroach hormone pill to cure everything.
Cockroach cure. Now, would you read that article?
It's because they didn't look closely, they didn't fact check, they didn't make that call to verify something.
My parents were missionaries in Kenya.
Would you ever believe all the things you see on television? Hoaxes performed before your very eyes.
Don't you feel bad when you do it?
I feel very good.
I was pissed off at Joey for a period of time, but I decided to forgive him because Joey does what I really love, and that is he makes you laugh, and when he makes you laugh, he makes you think.
Well, about a month ago, we told you about a man who came up with a way to render verdicts without all the arguing in the jury room, but he didn't say anything about being embarrassed, which is what CNN is right now.
We've learned his invention was all a big hoax, and we fell for it.
Wow. That thing on TV news that we were all talking about, it wasn't true.
I remember being kind of scared, like, oh my God, we've been found out. And Joey's like, no, this is all part of it. This is all part of it. So they have to find out. That's the other part.
I can't put that on the back of a tricycle. There's just no way. So I'm going to stick with the missile. The missile it is. First I'd get the extended, making sure that it was supported. And then I would, like you said, that pipe with a flange. We have Iran, still playing games. North Korea still playing games. You have surveillance drones. You have Russia being very upset with what's going on with NATO, with moving missiles to their borders. There's so many issues that this relates to it, and it's it's satire. I mean, it's a mobile rocket launcher.
And the thing is, something may just in the next 6 weeks happen.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be ready.
What color do we paint it? We have the North Korean flag on it, the Iranian flag on it. my head and a rope, I can be an Arab. I like to mix it up. It doesn't have to always be a hoax. It can be a direct theatrical piece, which is a political statement or a confrontation. I just love the fact that here I am in the middle of rural America with people who, you know, you wonder whether they would agree with your political stance or not. But they're willing to do it. The rocket's the rocket. That'll be a great visual pedaling down the streets of New York or wherever. John. Well, you're not going to believe this. I just came back with Judy from seeing Sacha Baron Cohen's film, The Dictator. And yeah, so he's got a missile in it, you know, and he's paying homage to North Korea, and, you know, he's an Arab building a missile, you know, and oh, it's like, oh, fuck, man, you know. But he didn't have it on the back of a tricycle. So we'll stick with the rocket, and we'll just have the mobile rocket launcher, and that's it. And I just have to, you know, I may not dress up like an Arab, as I thought I might, or as a North Korean, as I thought I might. Maybe I should go as Uncle Sam. I don't know. I don't know. It's not the same thing, but, you know, he's got it covered, kind of. Rethink this one. Yeah. You gotta be first. Not always easy. Look, life throws you a lot of curveballs. You have to be prepared for it. You have to go with the flow. This, you know, you don't have a lot of choices. And what happened with me was my father had dementia. He was bedridden for 9 years. My mother was incapable of living alone and taking care of herself. I said that, you know, when she needed me, I would be here full time, and she needed me. So I had to give up Hawaii and New York.
Right after my husband died, he came from Hawaii, and it was a big change for him. And I'm not going to say what he calls this place, but it's not been his greatest move because he doesn't have access to the things that he's used to.
It's a tricycle, it's a three-wheeler, and on the back of the three-wheeler is a platform that's going to hold the confessional booth.
Whoa.
I've got some crucifixes.
From Fox 5, this is Election 92.
Good evening, I'm Jack Cafferty at Madison Square Garden. Cora Ann will join us shortly from the studio. Now, if anyone at the convention's feeling guilty about something they may have done, they don't have to go far to confess their sins. A man who calls himself Father William has mounted a portable confessional booth on his bicycle.
For delegates who feel they may have overindulged a bit, a Catholic priest has set up a mobile confessional outside Madison Square Garden.
But a California priest has the answer for Catholics who don't have time to confess. He calls it Portafest.
Father Joseph, who is schlepping a Portafest portable confession booth around by bike.
Well, I didn't start out as a prankster. I was a child artist. I had a passion for art. I always drew, I painted, I sculpted. I just knew that I wanted to be an artist. That was my dream.
Most children, they don't obey their parents. They don't want to accept rules and regulations and come in at a certain time. And he was just a normal child who just didn't want to do what Mama and Papa said.
My parents moved to a little area on the Brooklyn-Queens borderline called Laurel Hill by Newtown Creek, a real industrial slum area. And there's Calvary Cemetery there, the Kosciuszko Bridge, and off in the distance was Manhattan. I was a young artist. I knew what I wanted to be, and I wanted to be in Manhattan. There was a junior high school art teacher that told me about the High School of Art and Design. And I was really fortunate enough to be accepted into this extraordinary high school. And it was all young artists, and the teachers were artists, and it was inspirational.
My husband never agreed. Never.
But what does your son do? He's a fine artist. What the fuck is a fine artist?
And I said, well, as far as I'm concerned, so be it. It's his life. And if this is what he wants to do, that's fine with me.
You have a dream, a passion. I'm going to be an artist. I'll just do all my work, and then I'll be discovered. I'll just paint. Someone's going to, oh, genius. But it doesn't always work out that way for most people. You're forced to wait until you are accepted into a gallery, and then have a show, and then hope for a review. There was no immediacy involved, and I wanted the immediacy. I like things now. I said, fuck that. I'm gonna do it in the streets. I'm gonna do it my way.
Here in the Time magazine, I read about a guy who took a load of hippies who were long-haired, strange-looking people, as you well know, put them on a bus and took them to Queens.
We took pictures of people mowing their lawns and washing their cars, and I took people to Howard Johnson's for ice cream and White Castle for, hamburgers, and they screamed, "We're being invaded, we're being invaded."
Day and night, there were busloads of tourists from all over America, all over the world, coming through looking at the hippies in the village.
But to have freaks go to suburbia and take pictures of them, oh, we're being invaded.
I think that is the definition of great political art, is when it goes outside of the museum and affects people in their daily life.
If I had a show of my paintings and 1,000 people or 10,000 people came, well, that would be considered a great success. But if I'm capable of accessing the news and millions of people see it, well, there's a tremendous difference between 10,000 and 10 million.
He was wilder in the 60s. His stuff was so raw and so fresh that it was like experimental jazz.
The war motivated everything we were doing. Even though what we were doing may not have been specifically about the war, underneath it was kind of a motor that kept us going. Whether you could call it anger or dissatisfaction or unhappiness, whatever it was inside us was making us make our art.
War in Vietnam was going on, people are killing one another. What kind of God are we talking about here? And so I constructed a life-size sculpture of a dead and decayed figure on a crucifix. dragged it on my back.
Up Fifth Avenue.
Into the Easter Day parade.
Easter parade, well-to-do people walking on Fifth Avenue in their most beautiful clothing.
When I got to the doors of St. Patrick's, the police locked the church doors, pushed the piece in me, kicked the piece, kicked me.
Kill him! Kill him! Kill him!
And I just dropped the sculpture and I ran down the block and jumped into a cab and got away. The police became the Roman soldiers, the crowd became the jeering crowd, and it was a total reenactment of over 2,000 years ago.
He was at the right place at the right time, had the wish, the energy, and the love to explore it and push it.
The war in Vietnam dragged on, and I had to continue to protest against it. So I built a life-size Vietnamese village portraying a Vietnamese nativity, and I chose to do it on Christmas Day in Central Park. I got all of my friends with fake guns and helmets and whatever we could put together in an attempt to burn it to the ground. And of course, the cops found us. They were looking for me. Has anyone seen Joey Skaggs? I had a piece of paper. They even asked me, have you seen Joey Skaggs? I said, he was around here a minute ago. And then the New York Times does a story, hippies arrested for littering. Gee, they missed my intent. That's not what I was saying. That's not what I meant. I was doing something against the war in Vietnam. I watched how the media twisted and torqued the intent, content, meaning of the message to suit their own agenda. And I realized that the media has an amazing ability to mold public opinion. So I decided rather than just use the media to try to get attention for my work, I would use the media as part of my work, exploit their vulnerability, gullibility, necessity for being out there first, and incorporate this into a theatrical performance, and then see what happens. Handler and vet on duty. Sun and photo service available. No weirdos, please. Dogs only, by appointment.
I can't believe that the Village Voice, for all its great reporting, fell for that one. That always makes me laugh.
It was, outrageous, but it was a sex story and it was a dog story. The media likes to have, little kids and dog stories all the time, and it has to be an animal. Boom! I put that out, and the phone rang off the hook. I got together a group of actors, a bunch of dogs, in a loft downtown Manhattan.
And created a theatrical performance for the press.
Okay, so what was going to be just the gag of having this ad appear turned out to be something you had to concoct because there was so much media interest in it.
But that's what I wanted. I wanted to do that. I was setting it up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Alex Bennett. And tonight, Midnight Blue visits a cat house where all the females are real bitches.
Betty Drake and Blackberry. And she beautiful? This meeting is to introduce the customers and their dogs to the brothel, to the bitches. And after they've chosen which bitch they wish their dog to mate with, we then inject the dogs with the drug which induces heat. And we have a second meeting then when they copulate.
And we had a really horny male dog that was there, and his mojo kicked in, and he was just humping space. He would hump anything. He'd just grab a head, he'd grab anything, and it looked like a dog orgy. I wrote letters to editors. I said, I've taken my dog, to the cat house, and he had a great time. I recommend this. Or I've taken my dog there, and he was attacked by other dogs. I'm thinking about suing. I created a controversy.
I'm completely against it. Number one, I think you're going to be taking female dogs, causing them to go through false or silent non-ovulatory heats.
I created a second controversy in the cat house for dogs when I
got so many calls from people wanting to have sex with dogs or wanting to watch women getting screwed by dogs. So I thought, well, here's an opportunity. I will create a diversion so that people don't question the initial premise. So I sent out a second press release saying there is absolutely no animal-human contact happening in the cat house for dogs. And so that had, the effect of making you not think, well, is there really a cat house for dogs? Because now you're thinking, people are having sex with dogs. Oh my God.
So when ABC Television called me, they wanted to do a piece on the brothel for dogs.
So I provided WABC with an interview in Washington Square Park and a videotape of the Midnight Blue performance. And they did a documentary which was nominated, and I later found out won the Emmy as Best News Broadcast for the inside of an animal cruelty story.
In the United States, there is a myth of the happy-go-lucky vagabond, the carefree mutt with no master and no leash, who comes and goes as he pleases and does whatever his nose tells him to do. This establishment in Greenwich Village is a cat house for dogs. By that, we do not mean a stud service. We mean a house of prostitution for dogs. For $50, your dog can have sex with a female dog while you watch and sip cocktails and take some pictures if you'd like to.
It was such an obvious idea to me. First of all, there are hundreds of thousands of dogs in the city. There's a dog population problem. People are willing to take their dogs to dog restaurants. I thought it would be natural to get their dogs sexually gratified.
They got after me. The ASPCA, the Bureau of Animal Affairs, the NYPD Vice Squad, various religious and humane organizations, and I was subpoenaed by the Attorney General for legally running a whorehouse for dogs.
Today, at the State Attorney General's office, Skaggs and his attorney appeared in response to a subpoena.
And miraculously, the subpoena was for April 1st, April Fool's Day.
He says the hoax was a conceptual art piece and an expensive one. For what purpose?
Well, it says a lot about the media. I hope that it will change the viewing audience's opinion and change their perspective as to what media really is. There's a media reality. Television is not necessarily reality. And millions of people have spent weeks believing that there is a cat house for dogs, and in fact, there never was.
And that's what I did. I decided to have a relationship with the news media where they were not just reporting about me, but I was reporting about them as well. Their irresponsibility, their gullibility, their prejudices.
Joey is the quality control inspector. He's poking for the soft spots in the media armor, and it turns out that it's very easy to find.
And in a culture like ours that's so media dominated, where commercial interests are just pushing their propaganda on us from every direction, the lesson he teaches, I believe, is, be skeptical, be double skeptical. Don't believe what you see.
And if I believe that, what else do I believe that's total bullshit?
Dennis, aloha, it's Joey Skaggs. Could you please give me a call back when you can? This is a guy that is leasing my property in Hawaii. I just didn't want to give up what was, to me, the most important thing in my life. To be an artist, to be creative, to get up when I want to get up, sleep when I want to sleep, eat what I want to eat, and that's it. It's really, you think it sounds easy. It's not easy. It's a very difficult thing to do, and you give up many things in doing that.
but I couldn't live it any other way. I don't want to live it any other way. And people always want to know what's next. You know, what have you done recently?
You know, I could just, you know, sit back and wait and see, you know, what the next, you know, because he can't stop. So, yeah, if you've been doing it for a while, and it's the thing that you're really good at, I could, you know, why would you stop? What else would you do?
10,000 rural farmers were marching in the streets saying, down with Monsanto, because Monsanto donated 475 tons of seeds to Haiti after the earthquake to help them in their time of greatest need.
About 70% of grocery store food in the U.S. contains genetically modified organisms, or GMOs.
Biotech giant Monsanto, campaigners and environmentalists.
Why don't you buy these GMOs? And they're resistant to Roundup, which we also make. So why don't you take that too? And they don't grow well in your countries, aren't really from your country. You need to buy the synthetic fertilizers to go along with those.
Right.
And they would lose their own seeds in the meantime. And they would lose part of their food sovereignty.
And the problem with it, of course, like,
Epiphanies come in weird places at weird times. I moved to Kauai because I was looking to get away from all of the restrictions that I felt living in New York. I've lived there for decades, and I know the intimate underbelly stories of what's going on in Kauai. Star Wars development, drone development, GMO cornfields. And Hawaii is just a microcosm of the real world. This is going on all around us. It's Pandora's box. You know, we've opened up all this technology. Who controls it? Who's making money from it? Are we going to be able to know what we're eating? Are they going to identify it? My intent is to bring attention to these issues because I know that no one's getting attention for the issues. Nobody cares. So how do you make people think and get upset and motivate them to take action? I do it by creating characters.
There we go.
We're going to do a fake news story. What's happening with GMOs, you know, the positive and negative things of GMOs, and how we're now introducing different genes into humans. I'm trying to put together a little mini documentary about 10 minutes long so that I can either put it in a film festival or make a news story out of it, put it on YouTube, figure out some way I can have people have access to it. 99% of this is true. I am the only false part. My character is a guy, whether I'm a marine biologist or a fisherman. I was in a motorcycle accident and broke my jaw in several places, knocked out my teeth, and my geneticist, scientist friend said, look, you know, we can try introducing shark stem cells in your jaw and see if we can regenerate the teeth.
Oh, wow.
You have to tell a story.
Scary, man.
And that's the key. A good hoax promises a good story and visuals.
Our next guest on Live at 5 is a man with a mission. He is the head of a group called Metamorphosis, and he thinks that cockroaches are very important to all of us. Sue and I are delighted to welcome Dr. Joseph Gregor to Live at 5. Doctor, it's nice to have you with us. You have completed a rather exhaustive study, and in your words, the future of mankind lies in the cockroach.
So I went with this Panama hat, Panama suit, roach pins all over me, a cockroach t-shirt saying Metamorphosis.
I'm an entomologist. I've been doing research with roaches over the past 10 years. And I believe that roaches are the key to human survival.
Wore a white hat and a white suit. He looked as fraudulent as can be. And I told him, Joe, you can't get away with this. Who's going to believe it?
Actually, I brought a strand of super roach, which I have developed, which is actually impervious to all toxins known to man.
Well, those are big fellas in there.
Yes, they are.
Huh?
And they're alive, Jack.
He had this really giant cockroach that he had gotten from the museum. When he took that out and he put it on the desk.
And I have developed a formula, which is a roach extract, which I have been taking along with my subjects for the past year. And colds, flus, virus have all but disappeared.
And you know, when you're there and the red light goes on in the camera, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe they're falling for this.
The results have been incredible.
You have a tape recorder?
And so now I'm on the set.
Well, this is really our theme song.
And I had a little tape recorder with me.
I see.
And I was just gonna, you know, push the button.
Organization is called Metamorphosis. Okay, Doctor, we probably ought to move along here. I want to thank you for sharing your scientific breakthrough with us here on Live at 5. Roaches, the future of mankind lies in these little devils right here.
I'm prepared for anything. You know, if they go, we got you, they got me. If they don't have me, I'm just going to take it to the next level.
With all the space given to the cockroach cure, isn't the American newspaper reader entitled to wonder what isn't getting in this space because this did?
Sometimes the facts are boring. People are more interested in the story than the facts, and that's what they want to exchange. People don't want to know the truth. They want to play with the story.
We're willing to believe in things that we want to believe in, even if we have a feeling they might not be true.
Why deal with the legal system without knowing the outcome beforehand? Let me tell you whether to sue or settle if you'll win or lose. I use non-traditional techniques to determine the outcome of legal decisions. Have you been the victim of a psychic injustice? Are you suffering from psychic surgery malpractice? Do you wish to renegotiate contracts made during past lives? There is no statute of limitations in the psychic realm. Let me use my psychic abilities to help you rectify injustices of the past and present. No fee unless I win your case. Call me.
808 UC1000.
Every Joey Skaggs story starts with some sort of unbelievable lie that people just want to believe in.
They wear commando-type berets and leather jackets the color of coal. They are the men and women of Walk Right, and their mission is to get you if you walk wrong.
I think a lot of
marketers today are doing the same sort of things. They come there with live actors who are playing parts or dressed up in costume and getting the names of their brands out there. It's got much more of an impact than a billboard or an ad on TV.
If you look on Google and look for brand marketing, brand storytelling, brand narrative, you get a gazillion hits. And everybody is trying to theorize on what that is. You know, Joey has done it.
6 Fat Squad commandos are here now, this morning, live, to maintain tight security around our Good Morning America refrigerator while we talk to the leader and the founder, Joe Bones. That is his real name.
We are there to physically restrain them if necessary.
Stop them from going to the refrigerator?
You bet.
It was a nightmare. She really couldn't help herself. I had to hold her down.
So what's the significance of this chain?
Oh, you gotta lock the refrigerator sometimes.
The yes men, of course, are dealing with giant corporations and business and moving into the inside and trying to make changes.
Andy is about to tell a really big lie. They're going to think that he represents one of the largest companies in the world.
I don't know if they would exist if it weren't for Joey, if you think about it, because he's laid the groundwork and everybody went, whoa, that's really cool. Maybe we could do something like that. And
I think that definitely gave me inspiration to realize that what I was doing with Improv Everywhere didn't just have to be a hobby.
I met Joey Skaggs August 1st, 1994. He was in the middle of an operation that he called Dog Meat Soup.
A strange letter is arriving in the mailboxes of animal shelters.
Animal shelters all across the country. A letter written in broken English asks if the shelters would be willing to sell unwanted dogs for use as food. According to the letter, the dogs would be bought for 10 cents a pound, then canned and sold here and overseas.
It may sound outrageous, but Korean Americans concede it could be true. Someone who thought it up is very, very sick, so we want to get to the bottom of it. They are companions, they are protectors, they are pets, but they are never dinner.
How are you, man? How you doing? I'm good. We arrived Friday night, and I've already scheduled a shoot in Keikaha.
Tom, aloha. Joey Skaggs here. How are you?
Actually, why don't you tell me when is a good time for you to get a bunch of people together who can talk about what's wrong with GMOs?
I need, something to counter the GMO. I need conflict in this story.
Aloha, you reached the printmaker. We can't get to the phone right now with the message.
I want to talk to you about a hoax.
I've been speaking to Will. He thought of an actress that might be good for my news commentator. I need a TV personality. It's not just a good voice. He has to keep it secret for about a year till the movie's done. There is no money involved. This is a low-budget flick. This is... Well, he'll get exposure. The crew is all coming. We're all coming to Kauai this Friday, and I know it's a rather late notice, but I'm looking for an actor or an actress to play a principal role. All right, thanks. All right, bye. She has other clients, so, and she's rehearsing for a play at 5:30 every day.
Well, if you direct me and coach me, I could try, but I don't know.
Well, you're going to be, with the production for the entire time, so I mean,
I'm there.
You're there.
Solve a lot of problems.
I have to use what I have, I have to make something out of clay, something out of it. You guys.
about Joey because I did media studies at San Francisco State University. And it was literally just 2 or so weeks ago that I met him in a bar for a rehearsal to participate in this demonstration that was happening. And he asked me, could I dress up as an elf and maybe sing some dirty Christmas carols? And so I thought, oh, this is cake. Have a couple in the bag.
There's a place that we all know, mostly shot in video, a place for sharing genitals by sticking them right through the walls. Stick your dick inside them.
And I think that's all it took, really. I think that was how I won Joey over.
And maybe there's a way of changing those lyrics so that it has something to do with...
I'll think on it, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sarah, I hope it's not too late. Is it too late?
No, I still have my phone on.
I would love you to play a journalist doing a 60-minute, kind of piece, or a 20/20 kind of piece, profiling certain aspects of Kauai that aren't really known. But there's no money in this. I mean, this is like, this is just on a whim and a prayer. Everyone that's working with me is volunteering. If I can get your passage over there and put you up and buy your meals, is that okay?
Mr. Skaggs, it would be an honor.
Oh, well,
I mean, are you kidding? This is art, this is life, this is something I believe in. It's just, I like that.
Fantastic.
Well, I think that the mainstream media doesn't like the idea of this guy out there who's basically trying to damage them and expose them. And I think that probably the establishment is very much against him and probably would want to see him thrown in jail because he embarrasses these institutions.
Some of the stuff Joey's done is scary. And on top of that, there are lots of authorities, political powers, people are going to sue you. The legal profession is industrialized as well, and they can take action against it.
Maintain visual contact with your personal property, items unattended. Thank you for your cooperation.
Is that the spot in Hanalei Bay where there's like that beautiful snorkeling, but then there's a really abrupt drop in the reef?
That's further out. That's where the surfers go. That's where the break is. We'll go out there. I windsurf from that spot to California, or so I said I did. And I had a band and a big farewell party and a Hawaiian blessing. I had a stand-in double shaved to look like me.
Cal or bust.
Yeah. He made it around and came back to shore. And we met at the bar and we were having a laugh. And everyone believed that I took off for California on a windsurfing, the longest windsurfing expedition ever.
29-year-old Joey Skaggs shoved off for California today. That's no big deal, except for Skaggs is trying to make the 2,500-mile journey on a windsurfer.
And the local media here got really bent out of shape. The journalists didn't appreciate.
I'm looking at you Welcome home.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you for having us. What I'm trying to do is create a story that has an element of plausibility and yet has a lie in it. So all of you are speaking your truth, but you are taking part in a prank. I'm just trying to get anti-GMO, pro-GMO, but my piece really is about how science controls inventions and patents, how the corporations own it. I want a strong opinion from your side. I want a strong opinion from the other side. I'm not making up my mind. I want to present opinions.
They speed all around.
And Sarah, go.
I'm here with members of the local organization called GMO Free Kauai. I'm standing here with Ed Call, a college professor and activist here in Kauai.
It's a fallacy that science belongs to these chemical companies.
This is giant corporations specifically own those seeds and patent them.
People became concerned that all this information, they could use it for purposes that are not necessarily in the public good.
In a fishing village, you always take only what you need, and if there's any extra, you share.
They talk about the corn, what the corn spray. What about what the sugar used to spray? They used to spray. Who knows what they used to spray?
Long term, nobody has the wisdom to conduct this thing safely.
I'm here with Drs. Ng and Croft, who are overseeing some of the research being done on Joe Howard in terms of his tooth regeneration.
They regenerate. I lose them constantly, but they're teeth right behind,
I see that.
and they just keep coming forward.
I kind of see Joey as this conductor of this orchestra of chaos. I mean, this is unlike any symphony that has ever been heard.
We cover every walk of life. Doctors, Jonas Salk, sports figures, politicians. We're going to try to get rid of anybody to their liking. Anybody who doesn't wait to scrap and say,
In 1976, I had a celebrity sperm auction. Unfortunately, last night, celebrity sperm was broken into, and the celebrity sperm was stolen. It was right here. Everything was totally staged. Whose sperm did you want?
Dylan. Yeah, this man here. I decided Bob Dylan. So I dressed like Bob Dylan, and I went there looking for Bob Dylan's sperm.
There was nothing there. This was a friend's apartment. So I kept them out by saying, oh, sperm's been stolen. Auction's canceled.
I want to introduce Sunshine. Sunshine is an artificially inseminated child. She was told that she was artificially inseminated.
Well, my task was to appear in videos protesting Joey's celebrity sperm bank, to be a believable lawyer.
She's been looking for her father. She has been on the verge of catatonia.
I don't remember any rehearsal. I met the young woman who was playing my client. I might have had a conversation with her about the circumstances.
It was really an improv. It was really like Second City. It was everybody had their own part, and that was all they were told.
I want to know about this because it's very dangerous what's going down here. Very dangerous.
He controlled things from a distance, but he let the actors, he really let them have their way with the script. There was no script. There was never a script.
I'm trying to, what's the best way of looking at this? You can turn to the camera and say, we're about to examine.
We're about to, or we already have?
No, we're about to, I guess. That'd be nice. About to examine.
My only thing is that we've got better questions to ask if they've already had the examination. I'm here with Drs. Ng and Croft, two of the professionals who are overseeing some of the research being done on Joe Howard, specifically in terms of his tooth regeneration.
that's going on. I'm sorry, you guys. I am out of. I need to do. This is like out of nowhere to me, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's the way that was.
Oh, well, it was, but I thought that this wasn't the first time. Is this the first time you're ever going to see him?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, that's what I thought.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm losing it. What do you want? Any other?
Coming right from the beginning again?
Mm-hmm.
The toys are stuff. That's right.
Well, I was hoping to be the scientific advisor. And so I started thinking all sorts of elaborate ideas about, and Joey told me what the basic idea was, that there was shark teeth, the guy had grown teeth, yak. So I started thinking, what's the most plausible way of explaining that scientifically? And I came up with some nice scientific papers. Yeah, this is possible. Yeah, it's kind of on the edge of plausibility. It's a bit wacky, but it'll probably pass. Then when I told him in Hawaii, this is what the process is, he was horrified. It wasn't silly enough. We use sharks as a source of sustainable and renewable stem cells.
Stop for 1 second. Do me a favor.
Yep.
Lie. You're too honest. What?
I'm lying my ass off.
I know you're lying, but here's the lie that I think.
Yeah.
Larry, don't mess with your hair, please.
Yeah. The lie is, if we can regenerate our teeth like a shark can regenerate our teeth, then we can revolutionize the whole dental industry.
Yep.
And the point of what we're trying to do is to make it so that humans can now regenerate teeth. That's it.
Forever.
That's what it's about.
Okay.
Fuck the shark. I mean, it's the ability to regenerate teeth constantly.
Oh, okay.
You're doing a good job. Trust me, you are. Dr. Croft, talk to me about the addition of shark stem cells in your research.
The teeth regrow in sharks, and once a tooth falls out, another one grows back. So if we could harness the ability that sharks have to regrow their own teeth, we could do the same thing in humans. And so this would revolutionize the dental industry and would be a fantastic thing for many people. Wait a minute, sorry.
There's such a thin line between, what's plausible and what's like, get out of here. I don't believe any of this. Is it too much ham?
Too much ham.
We'll see. We'll see.
Coma Cocoon, may I help you? Yes. Yes, you got our press release? And what kind of vacation were you looking for?
Dreams, sweet dreams. Now there's Coma Cocoon. And with recent technological advancements made in the field of anesthesiology, we can now knock you out. They'll hypnotize you and give you, a computer-generated dream. You could be a rock star, you could, be Don Juan. You could do your own personal fantasy. And we could give you a tan while you were out, you'd quit smoking, minor surgeries. And I can see. I always try to do something that's challenging to me. I don't want to do the same thing. And I thought, well, why don't I try to do 2 hoaxes at once? Depending on the condition of your scalp, no scars or birthmarks, a full head of hair, if you were in a high-risk profession, I would give you X amount of $1,000, and upon your untimely demise, I had the ownership of your scalp. On this side of the room, I'm Dr. Shenango. I'm curing baldness. On this side of the room, I'm Dr. Schlaffer, giving sleep dream vacations. And then when the time was right, I revealed that it was a hoax. And the New York Times, Mark Deary did a wonderful piece. There's a gray area. There's a time when you do the performance and it's going out there. And then when you do the expose and you think it's over. Well, there are people who don't ever get the expose. So I get a phone call from an Italian journalist, Dr. Schlaffer. So I go, hello, my name is Sylvia Kramer. I work for El Giornale. I'd like to do a story about your operation. I said, well, look, come to my home and I'll tell you a story, that you'll really enjoy. I was going to tell her the truth. She calls me back 10 minutes later. Dr. Schlaffer, I'm running late. I said, fine, no problem. And she calls me again. I'm running late. Then finally, the last time she calls, she says, Dr. Schlaffer, I'm sorry, but I can't make it. Can we do the interview on the phone? Lazy bitch, I was going to tell you the truth, but, I'm not going to tell you the truth. I'm just going to continue the hoax. After it hits the Italian news media, I get a phone call from the competition. Joey, you screwed Sylvia Kramer. We almost fell for the story too, but we read it in the New York Times. You think you know when it's over, and it's not over. It's not over because the truth is really the hardest thing to get to.
Okay, so what do you think of this?
I would make the conflict between morality and science up front, more up front, and then get into, but open sourcing science has its own issues. I have to think about this because this.
Yep. The operations and implications of this research and its open source methodology.
Is this a news report?
It was.
So maybe we don't even need that?
That's what I'm thinking. I think that this intro is so specific.
Yeah.
Taking you directly into something that's what we thought it was earlier.
Right.
There's a great big difference between doing what I do, which is a prank, and doing a film. I have to be improvisational. I have to go with the flow. So whatever it is, I've got to be able to make it happen. And so it's different than a film. You have a script, you have the actors, you're paying these people, it's all lit, takes hours, and the improvisational theater, guerrilla theater, culture jamming, hoaxes, different ballgame. So
I'm having a difficult time seeing if that's where we're going to end up. I don't have a lot of clarity yet if this is going to be a documentary or a news report.
We still don't have a timeline on this thing, it's still in a non-linear form, and we still haven't figured out where the actual punches are going to be thrown yet.
Warren. Hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm going to say this now to you personally, so I'd rather be in person, but this is all about, high tech and experiments with genetics and gene splicing and all that. Are you a willing guy to talk about the possibility or the hopefulness of having reconnective nerve tissue done through stem cell research? Warren, who broke his back in a horrible accident in the ocean, and he has spinal cord damage. He comes in, and he's the savior for the piece because he takes the attention away from my shark teeth. I want everyone to have a piece to say, especially Warren.
And he says at the table,
if stem cell research can make it possible for someone who has been in a wheelchair for 20 years to be able to stand up and walk to the bathroom, I can't tell you how wonderful that would be.
Warren carries that whole conversation. It's all about that. Forget about the ethics of doing the research. I need it.
This is heartfelt and the truth. This particular hoax, for me, is personal. It's not just Joey's art.
He's brought a lot of friends together who have heartfelt thoughts on these subjects that originally were just the setup. Now they're the topic.
Now, to me, it's more plausible. And I have to have an element of plausibility. I mean, it's so fucking far out anyway. But you know, now it's concealed. They've got it, and we convince them in the next 10 or 15 minutes to accept it and move on and see the bigger picture. We got it. This particular piece really is a stand-by-itself piece. You know, whatever the length it ends up being, if it's a half an hour, you know, great. It's really a show, and we never have to reveal the fact that it's a hoax. And we're going to make this into its own film, and then put this out in the world. We submit it to film festivals as a mini documentary. If they air it, if they accept it and air it, and no one says that it's, you know, bullshit, it's fantastic.
Tourists don't know anything. To them, it's a beautiful, idyllic tropical island.
It's also the most remote geographical archipelago on Earth.
We have a secret military base doing underwater research with a submarine base out here. There may or may not be nuclear weapons.
It's a fallacy that science belongs to these chemical companies. The science belongs to all of us.
I try not to think of any ethical ramifications. It's not often you see shark's teeth in a human, but you know, they're functioning perfectly.
Open source science can make it possible for someone who has been in a wheelchair to be able to stand up. I can't tell you how wonderful that would be. I would say go ahead and play God.
This is a huge Pandora's box. Nobody has the wisdom to conduct this thing safely.
Sarah.
Hello.
Hey, there you are.
Hey.
Can you see me?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Your hair is longer. Looks good.
Yeah. I imagine your beard is probably longer too, but right now it's top frame. I've got a little bad news.
Yeah.
Holly Shorts got back to us,
Uh-huh.
and they did not accept Pandora's Hope.
That's okay.
So they sent consolation saying that it was a record year. They had 1,400 submissions. So one more down.
Right. That's why it's a shotgun approach. You know, we do a whole lot, and you know, it's the odds.
Yeah.
It's just a waiting game, Sarah. You know, I said to everyone when I did the hoax part is the easy part, and the hard part is waiting to see if anybody, bites.
There's no P. It's not here. They picked a lot of films, but we're not one of them. Oh well.
The big one I'm hoping for is the Hawaii Film Festival. That's the one I hope we make it into.
That's when the shit will really hit the fan. Because everyone is going to realize who these people are, and the local press will go bananas. It'll probably go wire service, AP, which will then make it a global story. Maybe we can make it a newsworthy event and get some media coverage that way. I'm just concerned that our friends will laugh their asses off and then it's all over. Right. We've come this far and we really don't want to blow it at this stage. All we have to do is get these film festivals covered.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Sarah, hi. We heard from the Hawaii International Film Festival.
No? No.
Oh, I'll read it to you.
What do you say about that? Huh? Difficult challenge, and I'm so far, disappointed because I haven't been accepted into film festivals. But I can understand that because, it's not that it's a fantastic film. It's, a bunch of people talking about serious issues, which could be made, I guess, into a great film by a great filmmaker. But I don't consider myself a filmmaker. I feel like I locked myself into a corner. Trying to do a very difficult thing, limiting how I can get attention to the piece by only having it available to film festivals.
I've rarely heard him say, that was a mistake. I wish I hadn't done that. If I could do it over, I would do it this way. I think he really has a lot of self-confidence. He trusts his instincts, and he knows that he can pull a rabbit out of a hat if he needs to, and I've seen him do it. He enters into a project because of very strong beliefs about it, even if they are conflicted beliefs, or if there's no way to know the actual truth or the actual outcome of what's going to happen. As long as you're excited and fascinated and curious, and you're alive. You're really living, and he's really living. He's often described it as being a surfer. You have no idea if you're going to catch the wave. You have no idea once you're on the wave how long you're going to stay on the wave, and you don't know when your ride is over. And for him, that's hugely exciting.
Have you ever pulled something that's failed?
No.
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 Really? Is it that easy? Is there any kind of surefire thing you can do?
It's like producing a theater piece. You conceive, write, produce, direct, stage, act in it. It's very complicated. There are many techniques to gaining access to the media. If you know how the media works, it's kind of easy to give him the hook.
I know that he will never stop being creative, doing projects, coming up with outrageous, outlandish, hilarious ideas. I know he won't. It's just his nature. It's what he'll do.
You never know what he's going to come up with next. You never know where he's going, but I'm going with him. I'm going to be there every time he calls. Even at this age, I'm going to follow him through the streets of New York. It's okay because I know wherever he's going, it's going to be fun.
And you know, we were leaving one of the houses recently and he said, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky that all of my friends are here doing this for me. Like, it doesn't escape me for a second how grateful I am. And then he looked at me in the rearview mirror and said, and you're one of my new friends.
I've been really lucky that I've been able to live the life that I've lived, and with the people that have come into my life, and to feel a part that we've all created something, because, you know, it's just not all me. It's me involving everyone I can involve and everyone doing it. And that I love. That's the we, it's not the me.
Good morning. Good morning. It's August 22nd, and in the past 12 hours or so, we've been accepted to 2 film festivals. I got the first email last night, right before I drifted off to sleep. I was pretty excited. And then this morning, I wake up, and what do you know? We're accepted to another film festival. 2! Hi!
Hi! We did it! Yeah!
Now the fun part begins. Now it's going to be the juice.
We'll take... plan for today is we're gonna poster the town. My name is Kit. I've got a card if you'd like. Farrell. I'm a filmmaker who has a film here in the film festival. It's a short film. It's just 20 minutes. Let's stop by the cinemas to see if our big movie poster's up.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, right now, Kit Farrell from Pandora's Hope joins us right now. Tell us about this wonderful movie.
Oh, I'm so excited about this, my debut project.
Things that you normally only read about, Discover magazine or something. It's not often you see shark's teeth in a human, but you know they're functioning perfectly.
I was wondering, do we push this? Do I go up there and serve wine? With the teeth? With the teeth. To me, it's another level of absurdity that I can't stop myself from wanting to do.
People might find it odd that you're using the stem cells of a different species for your research in humans.
I had no idea that the teeth would regenerate so quickly. Every test that I did on them was, 100% normal. It was as if Joe was born with those teeth.
I'm Kit Farrell.
That group was basically to make it more transparent, as they say.
The man with the shark teeth. I'm just curious, why do the teeth regenerate and
Yeah, so this is a xenotransplantation, which I have come to find is actually not that uncommon. It has to do with stem cells.
My stories may take off and be an instant, everyone has to read it, or they may be a slow in the back burner, takes time before this will come around. And I have to have the openness, the flexibility to let that happen. I have planted seeds of thought. And seeds of thought, hopefully, will grow. Pandora's Hope is now a film, so it has a life. It's not a newspaper article that, is yesterday's news buried and gone.
Joey?
Yes.
I'm actually calling to tell you that our film, Pandora's Hope, has just been accepted into the Big Apple Film Festival in New York City.
You're kidding.
Isn't that amazing?
That's fabulous.
In my heart, I've always been the person who is disturbed by things, wants to see it changed, and looks for a way in which to reach people, to ring the bell, to make those changes.
I'm going to send out the press release with a flyer announcing Pandora's Hope in the Film Festival in New York to the news media and generate some buzz about the film. Is it possible for you to get some friends to be protesters and protest the movie because there's animal stem cells being used in humans? We're going to have a demonstration against the movie. So I'm planning on that. I'm getting protest signs printed up now. Franken food, Franken people. Frankenstein. Just don't, tell anybody that it's a hoax. Okay, all right, okay. All right, man, because I've got like 2 years worth of my life in this thing. Bye. Bye. I don't remember if I told you about my first grade teacher, Ms. Davis, who said to the class, I want you all to think about something. Just open your minds. I'm going to tell you about a big picture. She started out telling the class, so let's, look at under a microscope and we see this little amoeba. And then, the amoeba grows and we have, bigger life and we grow and now we have people. But people are really, just a grain of sand on a beach. And she said, just imagine all the beaches in the world and then planets and galaxies in a big universe. And it goes on and on and on and on. And she just kept getting the picture bigger and bigger. I felt really frightened. I just, I lost my grasp
of reality, where I was, my place in the universe, and I realized how insignificant I was.
Well, that's it. That's our evening at a cat house for dogs. And it is for real, and it is run by Mr. Joseph Skaggs. No kidding around. This is it, right?
Satisfaction guaranteed.
Satisfaction guaranteed.